Play for you is a really special song to me. It's called Bluestone Room, and the reason it's called Bluestone Room is because it's about this place. And like I said to you before, I spent a little bit of time downstairs here, and my band and I had been to America, and we got signed to a record label over there, and we were living in a beautiful penthouse overlooking Puget Sound, and we were doing the whole rock star thing. We thought we'd made it, you know, and then our record label our visas ran out. They said, well, you better go home and regroup, and then we'll get you back, and we'll record another album with you and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, when we came home, we didn't really have a plan B because we were living it up over there, and we got back to Geelong. And a little word of advice for anybody out there that's looking to get a rental property. If you're trying to find a rental property, don't turn up to the inspection meeting and jump out of the back of a Bedford in a leopard skin vest with hair down to your ass and about 8 blokes with you, because most real estate agents don't like that. And so we tried that for a little while, and we couldn't get a rental property anywhere. And there used to be a rehearsal room down here, and it was the only rehearsal room in Geelong that would have us because we played up at all the other ones. So we ended up coming all the way out here to rehearse, and then when the rehearsals had finished, our drummer would leave because he was living with his mum, and our guitar player would leave because his girlfriend would pick him up, and the rest of us, we'd be kind of stuck here. We didn't have a car or anything, so we'd sort of wander around and try and find, we'd sort of get drunk and hang out by the river, and then we'd eventually climb back up the hill, and there was this little room directly underneath us here, and we sort of went, well, that'll probably do, we'll just live in there for a little while. Seemed like a good idea at the time. And so yeah, this song is about a dear friend of mine who, he arrived at, I was actually telling Graham at the front here, when we lived here, we used to have people come down we hadn't seen for such a long time, and they'd come down with like $2 worth of chips and a loaf of bread, just so they could actually look at us. We were like a freak show, you know. People didn't believe that we lived here, and so they'd come in and they'd poke their nose in and have a look at where we were living and see the dirty mattresses on the floor, and here you go, have a loaf of bread, and then they'd leave. And one of those guys that came down one time was a friend of one of the boys downstairs, and I'd met him, but I didn't know that that day that he turned up down here, we'd literally spend the next 10 years together every single day. He was a builder, and he used to go do his 8 hours of work, and then he'd come meet with me, and we'd do our 8 hours of drinking, and then he'd go to work, and he used to turn up down here every day like clockwork with a carton of VB, and all the boys would get drunk, and we'd go up, and yeah. So he became my best buddy, and unfortunately a few years back he passed away. Died of misadventure. I think that's what they called it when Bon Scott died, so I think he died of a similar thing. And anyway, this song's about my friendship with the great Benny Glynn, and this place right here, a song called Bluestone Room. You met me in a bluestone room, living like a fool on a river, and what you came to deliver was the reason that I heard your voice. You seemed to know what to say, then as we drove from the river, well, I started my life with you. I used to listen for the sound of a cold can cracking. You said that you were back in, that's how I know it was you. And then we'd drink till the night. You'd have a job in the morning. You'd call me up and you'd be on it to say we're gonna do it again. And I'm so glad to love you and your shit around it. It's so sad that I can only talk about it. The times we've had when everything I said it counted. You understand all the things that I talk about, yeah. You never said that it's over, so it ain't over. Remember when we drove too long, sleeping in the back of your car, 35 degrees on the street, sweeping. When I rolled over, you were laying there dreaming, boy. You seemed to know what to say when I was sad and blue, and all I so sad, I can only talk about it. The times we've had, when everything I said it counted. You don't understand all the things that I'm talking about. I'm so glad the love you had to share around it. It's so sad, I can only talk about it. The times we've had, when everything that I said it counted. You don't understand all the things that I'm talking about. Yeah. You never said it's over, so it ain't over. You never said it's over, no, 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 and it ain't over. And I sure miss you now. You never said it's over, so it ain't over. Cheers, guys. Thank you very much. I'm going to have a quick break and then I'm going to come back, and when I come back I'm going to be a country singer. How weird's that? My next album's a country record and I'm going to play some songs off